I'm glad you brought up Sam Cassell because Bobby, I want to get your take on this, and we're going to get a clip in a few minutes about the one that we talked about before Bobby came on about Jaylen Brown having nothing but great things to say about the revamped coaching staff, which obviously Joe Mazzulla has had some assistance here with Sam Cassell, Coach Lee, Charles Lee coming from the Milwaukee Bucks. How much does that play a part in the success early, or not even early, right? 20 plus games into the regular season. What would you say, Bobby? Like, how much is that playing a part?
I think it helps guys be comfortable, certainly. Jayson's formed great comfort with Sam, and Sam's been able to push him in a way that maybe past assistant coaches haven't been able to when you look at the post-ups. I think Charles really smoothed in that transition for Drew coming over, which was fitting.
Definitely.
And then you just have different good combinations all the way down the line. I know DJ McClay, who's been here since Ime got hired, has worked with Kristaps and all the way down the line. You got Phil Pressey and Emil and some of these other guys working with the younger players. So this is a really good staff. There's no doubt about it. The defense this year, I think especially it shows in that sense. You definitely have different guys focusing on that, while Joe, as you imagine, really hones in on the offensive side of the ball. This coaching staff's been awesome, I feel like. And you do wonder, Sherrod, as we always ask here, does a season like this, the success they're having, lead these guys to other opportunities once this year ends? Charles has been up for Detroit and other spots. I'm sure he's glad he didn't take Detroit or didn't get that opportunity after what's gone on there. But Chauncey, he's been waiting for a long Sam Cassell has been waiting on that opportunity for a long time. He's interviewed for a bunch of different positions. And then, who knows, guys even deeper on the roster, I'm sure, have some aspirations eventually to reach the next level. Phil Pressey coming in this year from Missouri. So it's been awesome to see. I think last year, for all the criticism we had of Joe, and it was right.
Rightfully so.
The excuses.
A la Marcus Smart.
The excuses were valid too. It was a very strange situation with that staff and just how it kind of deteriorated as the year went on and guys went different ways, especially once the year ended. So to have guys committed, to have guys with experience, championship experience in Lee's case, Cassell winning it as a player and being in so many different spots as a coach, when they brought him in, Sherrod, I remember Doc saying last postseason, he's the only coach who's in the offensive meetings and the defensive meetings for us. So he covers a wide range of expertises here, and I'm sure Joe's really been able to offload a lot to those guys. Even the assistant covering the challenges, Matt Reynolds, their record's impeccable in those challenge spots this year, so he deserves some credit too.
Across the board,
yeah. And I would, and another assistant I throw in that mix is Tony Dobbins, who works. He's worked with Jaylen. He's
Great
worked
point.
with
I forgot him. Yeah,
Dobbins.
Tony could. I mean, when you
he's
look
got
at
ups too. He's got athleticism too.
Just compared to you, we all got ups and we all got hops. Another story, another day.
That's what's up, Sherrod.
It is. The thing about
just
Tony,
throwing a shot in there. All right, cool.
When I talk about Sam Hauser and just what he's done, Tony has worked with him on his game, particularly at the defensive end, and you can see Sam's a different player. And again, that's just one of the many examples of this coaching staff figuring out what they need to do to amplify the talents and strengths of the players. And it's coming together in a way that has put the Celtics in position to be the best team in the NBA.
FanDuel is the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Let's turn to what Jaylen Brown had to say before we got into that top 5, top 10 conversation. What he had to say about the coaching staff and the impact they've made this season.
In terms of the coaching, it seems like there's less kind of, I'm going to use the word structure, but I don't know if that's the right word, like do this, do that, and more see the game, approach the game in a mental way, and do what you guys do best. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think Joe is encouraged us to all think the game. For sure, like he's put an emphasis on that offensively, seeing, where the mismatches are, seeing where, how the teams are guarding us, and like really making our front five think the game, be the smartest players on the floor, which I think is we're being able to benefit from. So credit to Joe. He's definitely emphasized that. And then defensively, I think that we got so much versatility. I think it goes the same kind of thing on the defensive side, making the right reads, empowering us to see the game and make decisions that make sense, but be the smartest kind of players and team on the floor every single night. And I think this year, for majority year, we've been the smarter team.
Facts. Those are facts.
Facts, Jalen. Spin facts up there on that podium.
They have been a smarter team. I mean, and to me, smart teams know how to find ways to win when you're not your best. Smart teams find ways to compete when you don't feel like competing. I mean, I to play an overtime game and then to turn around and play a better team the next night than the one that took you to overtime and still find a way to win. It says a lot about just where they are from a mental toughness standpoint. And Jalen, the way that this team navigates from one game to the next, there really does feel as though there's a elevated level of thought put into how we're going to get it done tonight. That I don't think was necessarily the case last season, not to the extent that we see now.
I just think it's also an extension of what they've been doing with the film study. I just feel like that's a big part of it as well. Like all the players have really bought into that, and not only the approach, but the proof, right? I mean, Joe Mazzulla talking about pulling out clips during halftime in certain games when he feels like it's necessary. I just think that's a good thing about this team, and I feel like the players are all on the same page in that regard.